I used to think that just because I am on self-improvement that I'm so much better than anybody else. I mean, they don't meditate, they don't journal, they don't exercise, so there should be no problem just dominating everybody else in this world, right? The experience I've had is that that's actually not the case. We may feel great when we're at home doing all these things, yet when I have come out, at least into the real world, it's a much different story. And I realized that, hey, people may not be doing these things I do. My friend, for example, he may not have meditated in his entire life, yet he can still be more calm than me. And that is kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes, because you get this wrong perception of yourself. Hey, I should be superior than him, right? Or just take this example. So this very same friend has read one book, Atomic Habits. Of course, I've also read that one. I've read several other books on this subject and on self-improvement in general. It still feels like he knows more than me. Still feels like he does more than me, and just he's the one lecturing me when it should be the other way around. At least it should be. It shouldn't be he that has this advantage. So the world works in mysterious ways. Okay, so we're on this journey. We're constantly improving ourselves, and it feels like when we sit at home that we're so much better than anybody else. We can do so much more because we got our daily meditation done, our journaling, exercise, everything. So think that we are superior in some way. But then we come outside into the real world, and we quickly realize, or at least I did, that that's not the case. Just because you happen to do all these things doesn't necessarily mean you're better than them. It doesn't matter that when you come out in the real world, it's gonna be different. It's not always just like the simulations. And this also goes to show that we need to practice in the real world. We need to actually get out there and do the things we do at home, alone, in front of our computers. We need to do that in the real world. Or else we're just not gonna get into a good position. Because it can be tough as it is. And now you see that you're not that good. You're not this superior human being that you thought you were, because you meditated for 15 minutes this morning. You've done so for the past 40 mornings. No. So it can be quite demotivating in a lot of ways. You may feel as though it's just really worth it. It's just worth spending this much time each day on something that ultimately doesn't end up yielding me the best results. That's up to each and every one of us to answer, of course. To me, the answer is yes. What I think the way we're gonna see differences between us and regular people, if we say, is around the age of 30. So this is the great male filter, I think. First Man talks about that when all the alcohol consumption of people start to build up, all the shitty diet and no exercise, when that starts to show, that's when we're gonna notice that, hey, we've actually taken care of ourselves, we've actually done the good thing. And so up to that point, we just gotta keep on focusing and believing that we will end up in a good position, and think that it's worth it, because a lot of the things we do is influenced by the way we think, the power of belief. We think we're going to get great results, we're more likely to get them than if we said, oh, I'm not going to get anything out of meditating. So yes, we may not see the difference that we want between us and other people. We may not see that we're that much better than them, because we really aren't at this stage in our development. But trust me in my belief that we will become better as the years progress, as everything keeps building up, and we just gotta stick to it. That's the thing here. We gotta stay on the path, because it is the right path. So many have walked this before us, and we just gotta dial in and do what we have to do each day, and eventually we're gonna be in a good position. This coldness is rough, by the way. It's really cold outside. Almost can't feel my fingers, that's how cold it is. But I suppose that's alright. Nah, I think that's enough for tonight. Also, a different setting. Hope the wind didn't take too much of the sound, and I hope you enjoyed. And with that, I'm leaving you. Good night.